Welcome back to our podcast. You're listening to George and Victoria, and today we're diving into part 8 of our series, From Egypt to Eternity, which covers Genesis chapters 46 through 50.
Yes, this section is powerful, George. It portrays Jacob's migration to Egypt and Joseph's final years, and it beautifully illustrates how God's promises endure beyond our own lifetime.
Exactly, Victoria. Let's kick things off with Jacob's migration. Now, Jacob was feeling quite hesitant about leaving Canaan, which is understandable. Imagine being told to move to a completely unfamiliar land, but God met him at Beersheba with a reassuring vision.
What's so touching about that moment is how it reflects our own fears of stepping into the unknown. Sometimes all we need is that little nudge of reassurance, just like Jacob had.
Right, with God's promise, Jacob took a bold leap of faith, relocating his entire family, 70 people in total, to Egypt. This was a pivotal moment in establishing Israel as a burgeoning nation.
And when Joseph introduced Jacob to Pharaoh, this is fascinating. Jacob actually blessed Pharaoh, even though Pharaoh held the highest worldly power at that time. It's remarkable how Jacob, an ordinary man, held spiritual authority that transcended those worldly titles.
That's such a crucial insight, Victoria. It teaches us that spiritual authority often operates independently of worldly power. It prompts us to seriously consider what true authority looks like from God's perspective.
Now, shifting gears a bit to Joseph's last years, this is also rich in meaning. Jacob blessed Joseph's sons, Ephraim and Manasseh, but he gave the greater blessing to Ephraim, the younger one. That seems to defy expectations, doesn't it?
Absolutely. This incident highlights a recurring biblical theme. God often chooses the unexpected. It's a reminder that God's grace can elevate anyone, regardless of societal norms.
Then we have Jacob's blessing to all his sons, where he spoke prophetic words that shaped the future of each tribe of Israel. Before he passed away, he made them promise to bury him in Canaan, showing incredible faith in God's promise that they would eventually reclaim their homeland.
That act of faith, asking to be buried back in Canaan, is significant. It symbolizes hope in a promise that transcends Jacob's lifetime. It's a call for us to hold on to our faith, even when things seem uncertain.
Conversely, after Jacob's death, we see Joseph's brothers become fearful, worried he might seek revenge for what they did to him years earlier. But what does Joseph say?
He reassures them with those profound words, "You meant evil against me, but God meant it for good." This really encapsulates the essence of seeing God's sovereignty at work.
It speaks volumes about the transformative power of forgiveness. Joseph's ability to turn away from resentment is a lesson for all of us. Choosing not to harbor bitterness can free us to fulfill our purpose.
And even in Joseph's last moments, he made his family swear to take his bones back to Canaan once God delivered them. His faith reaches so far beyond his own life.
Yes, Joseph and Jacob both modeled a faith that's not only for personal survival, but also for future generations. Their legacy teaches us that God's promises can endure even beyond our days on this earth.
So, what are the key lessons here that we take away, Victoria?
Well, the first is about trusting God during transitions. Life is filled with changes, and sometimes we hesitate, much like Jacob did, but trust can lead to growth.
And we should also recognize the difference between worldly power and spiritual authority. Spiritual authority can often guide us in ways that worldly titles and positions cannot.
Then there's the powerful reminder that God can turn evil into good. It's a message of hope and forgiveness, a call to let go of bitterness. What a profound way to navigate our lives.
Finally, we are encouraged to live with a faith perspective that looks beyond our own lifetime. It connects us to something greater than ourselves, a legacy of faith.
Exactly. Wrapping up this exploration of Genesis, we can see that what began with one humble family has blossomed into a great nation, all while being orchestrated under God's providential hand.
And that brings us to the end of this episode. Thank you for joining us on this poignant journey through the biblical narrative.
We hope today's discussion has inspired you to trust, forgive, and live a legacy of faith. Until next time, take care and remember the promises that endure.